All right, can you guys hear me now? Hello. Okay. I don't know what the heck happened there. It just kind of bounced or... There we go. Okay. I'm back up. Sorry about that. Minor glitch. Not sure what the heck happened. That was weird. That was really weird. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Everybody coming back in. Minor glitch. I guess my internet bounced or something. But anyway, let me go back here and show this. Okay. Look at... Okay, here we go. And I'm going to have to go back and look at my posts. I could have sworn I may have mentioned this. But this is Litecoin on a weekly chart, right? Okay. And so you got this big, huge downtrend. You got a bearish engulfing right there. That led to this. And then you get this big red stick right here. Okay. Then the next week you get a doji. That's indecision, right? Everybody's like, okay, what's it going to do next? When you see a big green stick like this that totally reverses the trend, that's a morning star. Probably one of the more powerful candlestick patterns you will ever see. And when you see something like that, that is your clue to go long, right? And so you look here, and I may have even mentioned something about this bearish engulfing, but that was a short-term live thing. And then all of a sudden, look at this. Here we go. It's kind of like on the Dow Jones. Remember the Dow Jones chart I posted? I had a rare, probably first time ever evening star. I've never seen the Dow gap, and it did. And that's when we got the big drop a few months back. And that's why I posted it. But look at that. That's a morning star. Right there. And there it goes. So I'm changing my... I'm not trying to get overly bullish. I'm still trying to stay within the whole realm of things. But, this is something not to ignore, guys. That is a major reversal right there. Huge. And you got your moving averages. The 10 is coming up. When's the last time that happened? Back in here was the last time it was moving up. And then the minute it starts moving down, you get your downtrend. This looks really bullish, guys. Huge. Huge. So what do we do now, right? I guess is the question. So here's what we do, right? Let's throw on some fibs. And let's just assume, right? And nah, I'm not even going to do it because it hasn't made a top. It's still moving up. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as is until I know that there's a, some sort of wick or something where you're going to get a pullback or a retracement. This thing is looking really good. Look at how it held the 20 EMA right there on a retrace. And now the 10 is just riding it up. The big area still is going to be right in here. This little area right in here. And if it gets above that, wow. This could be something. We'll see. Looks good. I really like it. Of all the charts I've seen, that reversal formation. When was that? That was back in December. I had to have posted about that. I don't miss morning stars. Let me see. scroll back. I got to look at this. I had to have said something. This was back in December. I'm going back and looking. If I totally missed that, I'm going to be pissed. And right now, it's kind of looking like maybe I did. Shame on me for not looking at the... Well, but back then I was doing my... I had a bullish divergence on the daily chart back in December. Wow. Oh, done me. Okay. Or did I? Oh, I did mention it. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. And I said it wasn't a perfect one. Here's what I said. I'll put it in the channel there. There's what I said about Litecoin. Shit. Oh, Lord have mercy. Bathroom break. I'll be right back. Okay, can you all hear me? Wow. Okay, so Litecoin, wow. Could y'all hear what I was saying about the Morning Star? I can't, if my button was on or off, I couldn't tell. Chris, could you hear earlier what I was saying about the Morning Star on the weekly LTC chart? Hey, Obson, how you doing, man? That is just phenomenal. Wow. Okay. Couldn't tell if I was on or off, but wow. That's amazing right there. I mean, that right there is, and in fact, I'm going to do a horizontal ray on it. That's a huge bottom right there, guys. Wow. Huge. Yeah, no worries, man. We're just kind of going over Litecoin, and so what I was telling everybody is that, and I was trying to recall my memory from back then, but when I was looking at the weekly chart of Litecoin, you know, I saw this, you know, and if you've watched my stuff, you know, in candle patterns and whatnot, you'll know that one of my favorite all-time patterns is a morning star or an evening star, right? Morning stars are the ones that form a bottom, like a solid, this is a bottom type of deal. And so, you know, we had the downtrend, big red candle right here, and then the next week you get a doji, which is indecision. And then if you follow that up the next week with a big green stick that comes up here and almost takes out, like, or does, take out the red stick, then that's your bottom. That's a reversal. That is a major reversal pattern. And so you can see what's happening since, right? You know, we've got the 10 EMA hooking up. We've got the 20 starting to hook up. So is there going to be some retracement? And people might go, oh, well, here we go. You know, we're going way down again. And that's a possibility, but my confidence level on it doing, like, I'll tell you, my confidence level on it dropping below this green line is about 10%. I am 90% that it will not go below this green line for a while. 90%. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll apologize for it. But that morning star right there, that reversal formation is powerful. And it's just, and right here you had an engulfing candle, and I'm sure a lot of people were going, oh, let's get out, it just took it out. No, morning stars are more powerful than engulfing candles, right? Yeah, for whatever reason, LTC has. I mean, Litecoin, and we mentioned it earlier, and I asked the guys, I said, I'm just curious. I mean, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes or anything, but is it possible Litecoin could have its own futures? Is that something that could be happening? I have no clue. BNB, yeah, I think we looked at that one the other night, and that one has been taken off too. So, yeah, there's some pretty good stuff going on right now. Pretty good stuff. Now, before we all start getting, like, you know, hugely bullish, I mean, I do like the action. I like the price action a lot. I mean, I love this choppy up kind of, I mean, that's just good stuff, guys. I mean, it may seem boring or whatever, but that choppy up is what you like to see. You know, you want to see that choppy up, a little sideways, choppy up. That's good stuff. Yeah, I did look at DGB. I'll look at it one more time since you weren't in here. Let me save the Litecoin weekly chart. Let's see here. Yeah, so, you know, here's DGB, and I talked about this one the other night too, and I covered this, is that, you know, when you see a bottom like this over here, okay, and, you know, you got a clear bottom, then you come over here, and what do you got? You got, it's like a double bottom, right? We know how powerful double bottoms can be. I don't, in my opinion, I don't even think this is the beginning of what this is going to do. You just, double bottoms over a long-term trend like this, you just don't see it stop up here. Right? Normally, you don't. You see a bigger move, right? So it's going to look boring. It's going to seem boring, but it's going to chop, chop, chop. And if it can get above the 200 EMA, then, you know, all's good. I mean, it's going to look boring. You may look at it every day. You may see it pop down to 280, whatnot. It's going to go retest 300. At some point, you would think it's going to break through that. I mean, it broke this triangle right here, right? Had a bottoming out triangle and it busted through. Now, you know, and let's just go back and look at it. It still has a long way to go, right? But it's a good step. And I told, you know, people about the 50 EMA right here in yellow, this moving average, right? And if you go back and look where DGB is, how far above the 50 EMA it is, right? Look how far it is above the 50 EMA. When is the last time that happened? Well, let's just go back and look. Here's your 50 EMA. Let's follow it. Right? Back in here. That was the last time, right in here, that it got that far above the 50 EMA. Right? Now, it didn't have the 200 below it. Okay? But it's like back in here, guys. When you see these moving averages and you start making progress and you get above stuff, that's when you get your little spikes, right? So we have to keep an eye on that and keep that in mind. But this is good choppy bottoming action right here, and I've been talking about it for a long time. Boring, sideways, kind of just nobody's interested, yada yada yada. It's a bottoming formation. You let the moving averages catch up, people accumulate, and then you start to make your move. Because at some point, and I talked about it, I think last night, it's funny to watch now is and it's interesting to watch is the rotation of cryptos. You know, people, it's almost like I don't want to say the old days, but you're seeing rotation from this to that. You know, you may see ONT move one day, but then you may see Digibyte move one day, and I'm just throwing out tickers. I'm not just saying it happened, but you know what I'm saying? You see rotation. It's like people are chasing the money now. So what they're doing is they're going down to some of these beaten up good ones, right? They're looking at quality, but they're looking at beaten up cryptos. They do that, and that's what's going on. So they're going to play that and get their money out of it, but at the same time, they may be missing out on the bigger picture. So we'll see what happens. Again, you know, just to keep everybody in check, you know, it's been my opinion for a while. It's going on, you know, a month or so now, but we're in the bottoming phase. Let's go back to Bitcoin. You know, I know that's a lot of people's favorite, but still, I mean, it's just a bottoming kind of deal right here. And I fully expect, whether Litecoin drags it by its ears, you know, because Litecoin is obviously leading the market, but whether Litecoin drags it up in here, 4,400, I mean, I fully expect to see Bitcoin get to 4,400. That's my opinion. It's going to run into some major resistance here. Could spike into the low 5,000s. But after that, you're going to start seeing some retracement. But by then, you may see, and we'll see how it plays out, but you may see the 50 start to hook up, right? And if we start to get this to hook up, then that's support, you know? And let's just go back on the daily, and here we go again. When's the last time Bitcoin was above the 50 EMA for an extended period of time, right? It briefly got above it back in here, which probably seems like forever, but that was September. back here, right? So anyway, let's see what happens. I mean, it's trying to build a base right here around the 50, and if it can get above this, then we may have an even more extensive move. But I just think once we get it around 4,400, in between this area, you're going to see some resistance, and it'll chop around and retrace a little bit, and everybody will come out with their, it's going to 1,000 calls. That's fine, whatever. But let's just see how it reacts. I mean, price action is decent right now, so I like it. It's boring, but I like it. It's good for long-term holders. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to. Here's the problem. I told people earlier is that, you know, I missed this a long time ago. I think everybody is so programmed into thinking everything's going lower that they're too scared to buy, right? And what used to be perma bulls, people that were thinking, you know, hey, we're going to 50,000 and whatnot, and I'll just buy the dip or whatever. Those people have gotten burnt, you know, and let's face it, we're all one of them, right? But everybody gets programmed into thinking that it's going lower, lower, lower. They don't want to buy. I'm going to wait until it gets to 1,000, and then I'm loading the boat, right? Okay, and that's fine, but at the same time, you may be missing out on a bigger move, and 1,000 may never happen. I mean, it could. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just looking at charts, you know, and it may not ever see 1,000. But that's what you have to do as a trader. You have to manage your positions, and that's why I've been saying this whole time. When you get into something, don't just get in and scalp it and go 100% in and 100% out. Build up a portfolio and do it in a way where you can buy, you know, say you've got, I don't know, let's say you got $1,000, and let's just say you put 500 on something, right? Well, when it gets to your area and you've got a little bit of profit, then why do you have to sell all your shares? Sell 500 plus, maybe if you got enough, maybe $60 or $70. I know it's not much, but sell enough to keep a little bit, right? And then just play it that way and build up your portfolio, because if you go 100% on anything, you're going to lose your ass, right? So spread it out is what I'm saying. That's my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've seen it too many times over the past, good Lord, 20 years that I've been in this, or more, almost 30, of doing this. And it's just, it'll help you so much. So just, and you still got time. You can still play it that way. It's not like this thing's going to go to the moon tomorrow, right? Okay, so I'm sorry. I was venting. VTC. Let's go look at VTC. I don't even know if I've done a chart on. Have I ever done a chart on VTC? I have not. Is VTC on the Binance exchange? Let's go look. What exchange is VTC on? Let me do this. I'll do a look. Polynix. Let's see. Yeah, let's find out. I'm just going to do a search on it. Vertcoin. Let's see, what is that? CoinGecko. YoBit. Okay. All right. I got that. All right. I know where it's at. All right, here. VTC. There we go. All right. So let's. Okay. Yeah, it's about like probably, I don't know, maybe 70 to 80% of altcoins that I've pulled up lately, but so let's go back here just for reference, right? Okay. Look back here, okay, and this is 2016, right? Late 2016. And do you see how the moving averages are driving this thing down? And then look what happens once it pokes its head above, comes back, retests, and once you get the 50 EMA going up, look what happens, right? And you get the bigger moving averages starting to hook up. Those become support. It's like a I don't know, like a domino effect. You know, once you take out the 10, then you go up. You want to take out the 20, you go up. You come back, you test the 10, you test the 20, you go up. You take out the 50. It's like a domino effect, right? And so scroll out and look what happens. Well, we're in the same pattern as back in here, right? Pretty much, or it's trying to. So this could still take a little bit longer, but I would be looking at it as far as like if you're wanting to wait until, or if, and I'll say it if, because it's always been my view that probably 80 to 90% of altcoins are going to go bye-bye, right? Because there's a lot of them that are crap coins, they're scams, and a lot of them need to go away. I don't know anything about this company. I have no clue. That's your responsibility to do the fiscal side of it and see what they do. But chart-wise, you want to look at this and say, okay, well, it's doing the same thing as back in here, but this is also the same time that Bitcoin went parabolic. So did it just drag it with it? Was this all a pump? But if you're strong about it and it just got dragged down because the rest of the market got dragged down, then this is a spot you may want to be looking at, getting a little bit, I'm not saying a lot, but just, do the thing we talked about and just play it, swing trade it, keep a few, sell some, get some profit, focus in on your shorter term time frames. Just something to look at. That's what I got on VTC. I'll go ahead and save that chart in case we need to go back and look at it later. I hope that helps. I mean, right now that one's still in a bear market. Very short-term bull. I mean, it's holding, got a double bottom right there. In fact, let me scroll in just a little bit. Yeah. Nothing really that stands out that makes me say, aha, you know what I'm saying? But it's making progress, right? Comes up, it's the 200 moving average, drops back down. You want to see it get back above the 50 and then at some point take out and close, not wick, right? That's a pump right there. That's all that is. That's a pump. You want to see it get up above here and start holding that as support. And once it does, then your 50 starts coming up and you're golden. But that's a big if. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, you got to look at the fiscal side of stuff, you know, and as you know, as it happens with any coin or any stock, when things are not going good and you're not making money, you're going to lay off people. It happens. I mean, it's just like in a recession. Car business, which I'm in, is no different. You know, happened in the past, it's going to happen in the future. It's just part of the business. But if you believe in the company and their product and what they're doing, then the strong will survive. They will. And I think you can base a lot of that on price action as well. So, you know, Litecoin seems to be, you know, it's one of those. It's one of those that is just it's strong. Real strong. So anyway, hopefully that helps on VTC. Is there any other chart requests? Anybody want to look at anything else? Sorry about the sniffles, guys. I'm still trying to get over this crap. It's been hanging on to me forever. Ada. Yeah, we looked at that one the other night too. Let's go see what's going on. This is going to be the USD pair, not the Bitcoin pair, but they're going to be pretty much similar. And as I talked about the other night, and I drew this line, this is your uptrend line on ADA, right? Okay. So as long as it's above that trend line, you're good. You can see where it came down and hit the 78.6 retracement, right? I drew it from here to here. Hit the 78.6 and it's bouncing off of it. That's pretty strong. And not only that, but it's bouncing off the lower Bollinger Band right here. So that is pretty powerful. Now, what you would want to see, in my opinion, is it not just kind of dribble around in here the next, let's say, next week. You would want to see it take out these highs. And the quicker the better. Because this uptrend line is just, it's a timeline kind of, right? So you want to see it bounce off this, if it's strong, and make its move up here. This red line is an old support line right here, is now resistance. Okay, that was an old support level, broke through, that's now resistance. It's also a fib number on a retracement, so another one to watch. That area right there. So don't be thinking that this is just going to go to the moon, right? And that you're expecting it to go way, way, way up here. Just keep in mind that you got this red line that and the fib and your 200 EMA that are going to be all resistance in this area. So if you're playing it, you could, and I'm not, again, not financial advice, but you could get in now, have a stop if you have the room for it below the 78.6 and play a move just below that area. You don't want to wait until it hits exactly that area because there's going to be a lot of people in that area wanting to sell, right? So you would want to get out or take some profits here, just below. Okay? That 200 that's hooking down, that's huge resistance. This area right in here, huge resistance. So that's what I got on ADA. Hey Brian, yeah, I'll go over Litecoin real quick again. we were talking about this, and I'll do a couple of charts on it. And forgive my sniffles again. Hopefully my computer is not going to freeze up. Here we go. All right, so this will be chart number 1, okay? And this is a weekly chart of Litecoin, okay? And you'll have to forgive me, guys. My memory is not the best, but I do remember posting about this back when it happened, okay? Is that this is a Morningstar reversal pattern, okay? This is a weekly chart, not daily, weekly. So what this means, okay, if you don't know about, and it's one of my most favorite patterns in the world is a morning star and an evening star for that matter. They are powerful reversal patterns. So what you had is Litecoin this whole time, downtrend, 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 big red stick right here, which means capitulation in a way, right? Then the next week you get a doji, okay? You get like that little small body right there. It's a doji. Everybody's like, okay, what's going on? Is that a bottom? What is it selling off more? Well, the next week you get a big, huge green stick, right? That's a reversal. That's a Morningstar pattern right there. And it came close, and I think if I was to actually pull up the numbers, it would be like right on the money that it almost took out that red candle right there. It's probably even. But you can see what happens after that, right? That was just like somebody saying, that's the bottom. I'm not going lower. And you get this. And usually these patterns last for quite a while, right? So it is my opinion, and I said this in the channel, is that my confidence level on Litecoin going below this green line, that low, the confidence level that it will go below that is about 90%. I don't think, at least for maybe even the rest of the year, that it's going to go below that green line. I'll just put it that way. And if it goes below it, then I'll come on here and I'll tell you I'm wrong and I got it wrong and whatnot, but I don't think it's going below this green line for the rest of the year. So you've got your 10 EMA that it got above. 10 EMA is hooking up. It held the 20 EMA right here on a retrace. Now it's wanting to test the 100 EMA and the 50 EMA, as well as this old support. Okay, used to be support, then turned into resistance. And the reason I say that is because right here you had support, tried to bounce, came through, came up and tried to get back through and did not. That turns it into to resistance. And then you see what happened after it. Now it's approaching it again. So this area up here is going to be a major test, right? I'm not of the opinion that I think it gets through there immediately or on the first try. So my thinking is that it goes up here, it tests this area, and it could actually stop short of that. I'm not saying it gets up there. It's possible. But we're in a congestion zone right in here. And then maybe a retrace, and by that time maybe let's give it a couple of weeks. And maybe by that time the 10 crosses the 20 and it starts pushing everything through the 50 and the 100. But for the rest of the year, I think Litecoin looks pretty darn good. So that's that. Let's go look at it on a daily chart. And let's just throw it on this one. Okay, and there's what you got on daily. So you can see on the, and I told the guys this earlier too, look back. I mean, moving averages are so important, right? Go back. I mean, here's where we are now. See how the 50 is moving up, right? It bottomed right in here. Normally, what would have happened in the past is that it goes a little sideways and then turns back down. Now it's turning back up. So when's the last time the 50 EMA was actually going up and it had getting above here, right? It was back in here. And I'm not saying it's going parabolic. I don't want it to go parabolic. But that's the last time that the 50 EMA was actually going up. Once it started moving down, this is what happens. But now we're going back up. So let's watch it and see what happens. Schwartz. Okay, so I'll put this out there for people coming in. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not 100% sure. I gave you my percentage. You have to play it on your own, like Derek said. In my opinion, I am 90% confident that Litecoin will not make a new low this year. I'll put it that way. And if it does go below it, I will come right on here. I'll go on Twitter, wherever you guys want me to go to, and I'll admit I was wrong. And I would be, totally shocked if it does, but I'll admit it. So anyway, I mean, and when you're listening to what I'm saying, guys, don't sit here and just go, oh, well, JR said this, and I'm going to go. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a guru, right, guys? No. But don't go off just what I say. Do your own research and your own. I just try to give you ideas and stuff to look at just based on my 30 years of being in it, right? And seeing it and knowing it and just gauging the psychology of what's going on out there. I mean, I've told the guys earlier and I'll say it again. I mean, people are so programmed, and I said this on Twitter. I said people are so programmed in a bear market to think that there's going to be another low coming, right? It's going lower. I'm going to wait until it hits rock bottom. No. I mean, that's when you swing trade and you build up a portfolio. Take your profits, but keep a little bit. Who cares? I mean, if you got profit and that position's in that position is in a losing, you're losing money on it. Who cares? You got profit, and that's just free shares writing. So just wait it out. I mean, this thing's bottoms don't happen just like that and it's done. I mean, when you're in a bear market, it takes a little while to get out of that and work yourself out. You got bag holders sitting right above you. Exactly right, Brian. I mean, I said it before. I mean, you got $1,000, right? You buy. You never want to put 100% of your money on one thing ever. I preach that. I'll preach that till I'm blue in the face. Do not go all in on one thing. Never. Go 1/4 to 1/2 of what you got, maybe, and then when it gets to where you make some money, instead of selling all $500 of what you put into it, and let's say you've got $100 profit, your $500 turned into $600. Well, instead of going, okay, I'm taking that $100 and I'm out of there, I'm gone. Why not take $50 of it and keep a little bit? It may not be much, but at least you've got a position in it, right? You still have a position. And then if it drops back down and you want to do it all over again because you know the pattern, you know the stock, just build up a portfolio. Do that with multiple coins. Be diverse. Don't be all in on Litecoin, all in on Bitcoin, all in on this or that. pick the strongest ones and just pick your spots and go from there. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Then all of a sudden you come back at the end of the year and you're going, holy crap, you know, look at this. You know? So anyway, that's play 3 coins. Yeah, it is, Brian. Absolutely, patience, and that's where 90%, and it's a fact, 90% of traders they will lose their money. 90%, it's a fact, right? Because they get impatient. They want their money right now. They want it right then, and they always watch the screen. Right? You can't get away from it. You're at work, you know, you're looking at your, you know, you're looking at your coin or your stock and you're going, oh my God, oh my God. And then you can't see charts and you're going, oh my God, look at this. And you're missing key areas to buy or sell and whatnot. So patience is the key. You got that 100% right, man. 100%. And Litecoin just continues to chew and chew and chew. Does anybody have any other charts to look at, or you just want to hear me ramble some more? Because I can ramble pretty good. I can ramble with the best of them. I could go on and on and on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brian, it is. I mean, nothing goes straight up. No. I mean, it's like we talked about on the daily chart right in here. It's not going to get through that on the first try. There's no way. Right? I mean, that's just... Although it's chewing, it's trying, but you can almost smell where people are, you know, everybody and their dog, you know, or I say that, probably sees this back in here and they're all like, okay, well, I'm going to get out, I'm going to take some profit, and then before you know it, you know, indicators start moving, people go off that, and domino after domino, you get maybe a big red stick, and then voila. Maybe it holds the 50 EMA right here, and then boom. So there's going to be some suckers that, you know, they're going to sell out and take their profit, and that's fine. I mean, take your profit, you know, move on. Let's see. Okay, Obson, let's look at BTG. Let's see, what exchange is that? I don't even think I've done that one before either. Or have I? Yeah, I did. I did that one back. Oh my God. I did that back in July of last year. Holy crap. Wow. Amazing what a year brings. Let's see. Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So that's a 4-hour. Let's get it on a daily. Looks pretty darn good actually on 4-hour, but let's get it daily. Wow. Okay. Bitcoin Gold. Is that kind of like the anti, you know, the, like if Bitcoin's going down, this goes up. Is that what everybody kind of does with this one? Kind of like with the stock market, where gold goes up if the market's, you know, or if... Well, anyway, long story short, you got a bottom here and you got a lower or a higher low right here. So what do we do now? Let's do this. And I'm just curious, because that's me, Mr. Curious. Let's go up here and do this. Nope. Didn't hold there. And we'll leave the 127.2 in there. Okay. Actually, I think it made a higher high over there. Okay. So let's do this. Draw it from here to here. And let's go see if 38.2, 23.6. Well, this is an odd one. Okay, so it didn't hold that. And let's go look at this bit. Maybe something happened here. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay. All right, so sorry for the mess on the fib numbers, but that's what fibs is all about. So this fib right here, from here to here, you know, you've got your 38.2 still way up here, but from here to here, it's retraced half the move. I would want to see it hold that 50 EMA right there. There's just something about, you know, when it just barely gets above the 50 and then, you know, you got this screaming down. You want to see it hold that area for a longer, I mean, if it's going to make a longer term move. I wouldn't have a position in this one myself. That's my personal view. I think there's just too many other things that are out there that you could play. If you're into it, you know, stay the course. You know, I think as long as it holds that low right there, then you're okay. But I don't know. I mean, some charts I look at and I'm crystal clear on. This one here, I don't have a good vibe about it. I really don't. I just don't. So that's just my opinion. Let me go ahead and save that chart real quick. ZIL. I know that one, I think. Let me see. I think I've done that one before in the past. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Hang on here. ZIL. Daily. There we go. Oh my God. It's been since June since I looked at this one. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Got it wrong. Click on it. There. I think is where it's at. All right. All right. So you've got kind of an old, you know, this resistance right here, going back to this. I can actually do this. Yeah, let's do it on a rectangle actually. And let's just call it down in here. And let's change this to green. Okay. ZIL, you've got resistance up here. That's your support zone, right? That's a support zone. Let's do some fibs on it. And so let's take out the 50 and the 61.8. All right. And that kind of clears things up. There we go. All right. So you've got resistance here, red line. You got a 78.6, which in the crypto world is like the magical support bounce zone, which it is approaching based on this retracement from here to there. So if it's going to bounce and it's going to do something, it's going to do it from this area, right? The only thing, I mean, the 50 has started hooking back down again. That's going to be tough to get through. So it could take, I don't know, it could take a week or so, maybe more, to just kind of let this come down and then work back through it. But your key, and I'm going to zoom in just to show you. Okay. Here's your 10 and your 20, right? That are just driving this down. So it could actually come down and hit the 78.6 before it wants to make its decision, right? So it's just, yeah, it's kind of a seesaw kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it gets down here, I mean, you could actually take a look. I think it looks like some people are actually trying to maybe take a position, accumulating right in here as it goes down. I mean, there's no big violent moves down, so I think the panic is over. That just looks like people holding price up. So who knows? You may see like some sort of pump or, I don't know, newsletter thing. Who knows? But anyway, I mean, it could do, you know, get down in here and then move up a little bit. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. No. Yeah, I mean, if you missed back in here, you know, and I think for, you know, some Elliott wave people, and I'm not a master of it anyway, but, you know, some people would probably go, that was a, you know, A, B, C, or if they were bullish, 1, 2, 3, that can't be a 4 because 4 violates 1. 4 can't violate 1. All right, so that's ZIL. Any other ones? What have we not looked at lately? There's got to be something out there. I already went over Ripple, ICX. I had a note on my chart. Oh, BAT. That's what it was. BAT. Let's go look at BAT. There it is. BAT daily chart. ZEN. JPM coin? What the hell is that, Derek? Or are you just being facetious? JPM coin. Okay. Facetious. Okay. Let's see here. Where were we? Let's go to Obzen wants to look at ZEN. Let's look at ZEN. I have not done that chart before. What guy, and if you'll do me a favor, if you have a chart request on a coin, if you'll let me know what, just in case I haven't charted it before, just let me know what exchange it's on. Let's look at Binance and see if it's there. ZEN. Get my eyeballs working. There it is. ZEN. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Not shabby. Not too shabby. Let's do this. You know me and my fibs. Let's see. Let's go from here down to here. Let's see if maybe that's hitting the 61.8. Yep. Okay, so it's hitting the 61.8 right there. I wonder if it hit the 127.2 on a retrace. Ooh, got some fib clusters. We got fib clusters. We got fib clusters. Okay. All right. So this one will be short, sweet, and simple. Okay. So I drew a couple of fibs, right, from here to here and from here to here. And what I come up with is a couple of different fib clusters, right? So here's your resistance, right? Right there at the previous high. And if it breaks that, up here is going to be even tougher to get through, because by the time it gets to there, the 200 EMA is going to be sitting right on top of that area. So if you see where my cursor's at, right there is going to be major resistance. Okay, that's if it gets there. It could very easily, you know, here's the good sign, right? And it's like with other ones, is the 10, the 20 are hooking up, and now you've got the 50, which it's above, and it's been above for a few days, is starting to curl up, right? So again, when was the last time the 50 EMA started curling up on this coin? You know, you had it back in here, right? And that was just before it took its major drop. So I don't know. We'll see. Could it be one of those? But it's farther above the 50 over here than it was back there, and for a longer time. But that's one to keep an eye on. You know, slight bearish divergence right here on RSI. I would keep that in mind. But on any retracement, you want to hold the 50 EMA. So what is that? 12,000 or whatever that number is, somewhere in there. 13,000 or 1,300. So you want to watch that. And if it's really strong, I mean, you'll see the 50 keep moving up, right? You don't want to see it just hit here, go below, and then turn it right back down. And you want to watch your 10, 20. But those are your resistance points right there. So would I be hopping in right now? Probably not. You know, I mean, if I did, it would be very, very, very small. Only because you got this congested area right over here. You know, that was a resistance. You get a lot of resistance right in here, right? So could you get something maybe back down in here? Possibly. I would watch it. That's my opinion. Just watch it and see how it reacts. All right. SPND Bittrex. Okay. Let's see. Let me save Zen, just so we can go back to it if we need to. All right, Zen is in there. Let's go to Bittrex. If I can get my eyeballs working. Okay, Bittrex. SPND. Okay, not a lot of information on this, or not a lot of data on this. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So here's what I'll say about this one. There's not a lot of data, obviously. So what are we looking at? We're looking at, and I'll do a fib retracement. We can actually do one of those now. And let's just go from here to there. And then let's throw on 61.8. There we go. So it actually got above the 50. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So on the daily chart, what you got is, again, like we talked about on Litecoin on the weekly chart, and this is not, don't take this wrong way, this is not really an evening star. Some people may want to call it that, but it's still a very nice reversal pattern, right? You got this big long downtrend, big red stick, and then all of a sudden you get this, right? Kind of a small body area, and then you get a reversal off that, right? Big, huge green stick. So somebody down here was going, no, that's the bottom. We're going higher. So you've started the process, right? It could still take, maybe a week or two, but it's holding above the 10 EMA. You can see right here where it retraced on this candle, hit the 10 EMA and bounced off of it, closed here, next candle is right here, and that's where we're at. So I would say that this is one of those that's it's tricky, and you got to be ballsy at the same time, right? So let's do this as well. I've always said that if it bounces off of 38.2, that it's super bullish, right? So it got below it a little bit, but this candle is still holding above it. It actually bounced off the 50. So I'm going to take the 38.2. I would call it semi-bullish, right? And only because I like those type of reversal candles, those patterns. And so, excuse me, is that you got this. If you can get above, your EMA right here at the 61.8 where it got stopped last time, then you're going to watch the 78.6. So could you technically take a position here and maybe ride it to here? Sure. But it's one of those, like we talked about, just, don't go all in, take a position, sell some, but make some money, and then keep a little bit just in case it decides to take off while you're in something else and you can't keep an eye on it, right? So it doesn't look too bad, honestly. It doesn't look real bad at all. You're starting to get enough data that the stochastic RSI is popping up, and it's in the oversold territory right here. So could it be one of those that maybe comes up and hits in here and then starts to come back down, and maybe indicator bottoms out right here and then makes, possible. We'll see. That's not bad. I like it. In fact, I'm jotting that one down as PND. Yeah, thank you for that one. That'll be one that I'll be watching. I'm going to save that chart. Okay. What is that? What does that company do? What is the name of it? Let's see. I'm going back and looking at the comments. Let's see, Derek. Okay, JPM coin. What is this JPM coin, guys? Well, I don't know. Is it by JP Morgan? They've created their own coin? What's going on with JPM coin? JPM coin is actually doing their own coin? Wow. And does anybody know what exchange, or are they going to have just like their own exchange? Because Lord knows they have the money to do it. Crypto Visa card? Oh my God. Oh my. Well, I can tell you this, guys, and that's here's the here's the thing, is that it just cracks me up that these guys were trashing cryptocurrency, you know, what, a year and a half ago, and then all of a sudden now, when prices start getting low, and they're working on their stuff and they're getting it all lined up, that now they're going to create their own stuff. I mean, that doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, what a bunch of crooked freaking... Oh, well. Yeah, Jamie Dimon is... He's a lying cheat, no doubt. You said it correctly. But, hey, I mean, that's, you know, eventually, I mean, there was no way ever that Wall Street was going to miss out on cryptocurrency, right? Never. I mean, even though everybody was saying, oh, it's all about keeping it away from the big banks and whatnot, no. They have too much money, too much power, you know. So... Yeah, good point, Brian. Wall Street does not miss a thing. I'll tell you that, guys. They don't miss a beat. Okay, so let's go back and see. Yeah, SPND, that's pretty nice. I kind of like that one. What else have we not looked at lately? XLM. All right, Brian. Hey, I appreciate you coming in. Like I say, I mean, I'm going to be doing this more often, so, you know, just, you know, keep in tune to the channel, and I'm back. More charts coming. So does anybody have any chart requests or questions? Because I've got about 15 minutes left, guys. 15 minutes, and this will be the 15-minute call. Hard to believe. I've been on here 2.5 hours. Are you kidding me? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like it's been like 30 minutes. What else can we look at? Let's see, I just pulled up XLM. Oh, wow. I think we looked at this one the other night too, didn't we? Stellar? I mean, you get the Bollinger Bands hanging right below the 50, just kind of, you know, and just, yeah, this looks like, I mean, this is another one that actually could make that move up to the red line up here, the old support, new resistance line, before it, you know, dribbles back down or, you know, makes its mind up. But that's another one right there. XLM. I mean, there's quite a few out there right now that are, you just have to pick your poison. I mean, I'm marking down XLM right now too. I mean, there's some that look weak and there's some that look strong. XLM, boy, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, guys. Looks like you were going. Oh, BAT. Yeah. Good point. Good call. Good call, Chris. Want to check on it again. Let's see BAT. Hang on one sec. All right, BAT. Yeah, okay, I remember it now. Yeah, this is the one that was just chopping around and going like resistance up here, support down here, choppy, 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 hesitation to buy right here. So, I mean, could it still go higher? The only thing, I mean, even though the 50 hooked up here, it just, this is one of those that, I don't know. Is this like, it just, somebody accumulates here, they sell up here, they accumulate, they sell, accumulate, sell. Are they going to come back and accumulate back in here again? And then you got a divergence over here on your stochastic RSI. Although the regular RSI looks okay, although it's kind of toppy. I don't know. I mean, BAT looks okay, but I think there's other ones that are worth playing. You know, I think we talked about that the other night. It's just, I don't know. This thing could chop around. It made this move, choppy, choppy, and it could just break out. You know, just accumulation zone and then break out. I mean, it could end up being a monster, but right now, I would just put it on a watch list and see, you know. I would think until it actually breaks, you know, if it starts getting back, if it gets a candle close up into this red zone, I would really, really start watching. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's BAT. All right, guys, I'm going to give it like a, you know, I'll give it a, I know there's a delay, but I'll give it like a 30-second call here for last chart. If anybody wants a chart to look at. All right, Derek, have a good one, buddy. Good to see you. Chris, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. I'll see you in Discord. I'm going to call it a night, obviously, but we'll try to do this. What is this, Wednesday? Let's try to do, I may do another one on Friday, either Friday or Saturday, but I'll let you guys know. Appreciate, you guys coming in, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.